for the useless news.
Useless news.
Right here on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Venkman reporting.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Venkman. This is the Useless News on the Big Dumb Fun Show. As always, sponsored by Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa, now owned 66% wholly by Uncle Rusty. Weird coincidence.
That's bizarre.
And that is really odd, don't you think?
Apparently, Mrs. Rusty transferred her interest over.
Who owns the other 40?
You don't want to know.
33.
You don't want to know.
34.
Shareholders. Lots of
Frank?
shareholders. Frank does. You know what? That's what we did. We pulled the old switcheroo. Frank is going to pursue a venture with Uncle Rusty's Pure Pork Salsa, and not going to be a part of the show anymore. But yeah, also coming soon, Fart in a Bag. So we'll see what they'll come up with next. Who knows? A bid to set up a new world record for the number of women being photographed wearing bikinis failed after only 42 girls showed up.
Aww.
Couldn't you get more than that on a beach at any given day anyway?
Well, you have to get their permission to make it a world record. They've got to participate.
True. Organizers
said, what is the world record? Do you know?
1,923 women wearing bikinis at the beach on the sea. They'd hoped to enter the record books by getting more than that.
I'd like to be on that sea.
Yeah, you would. A poor weather forecast.
You see that?
In the Essex seaside town was blamed for the disappointing turnout, reports the Daily Telegraph. Hello. Well, no wonder they were advertising on it by telegraph. I mean, come on.
What women are they going to get there? Hey, some settlers showed up.
Western Union.
And it's England, so it's generally not that sunny there anyway.
I
heard they were predicting fog.
Some servers from Outback Steakhouse.
One said that only 42 had turned out to raise money for the hospital's breast cancer appeal, and the oldest of whom was in her 80s.
Hey.
Debbie Reynolds said that she would be at least, that she thought they would at least break the UK record of 320. By the way, this is Debbie Reynolds, age 23.
I was going to say, Debbie Reynolds was involved in a Guinness Book for the most photographed women in a bikini at one time.
She said it was sunny
What
and
is she, like 80 now?
We thought we'd get a good turnout, but it was very sad when we realized that only 42 was the grand total.
Maybe it's because they thought Debbie Reynolds was involved.
Hey, everyone, come out. Debbie Reynolds is hosting a bikini photograph shoot. They say that's pretty rubbish, I must admit. We need to try harder. It made me feel pretty embarrassed to be British. That's what makes you embarrassed to be British?
Hey.
Only having 42 women come out for this. Kelly takes one of her sweater off.
A couple of dedicated British fans now, so sorry about that.
Don't hurt John's feelings.
Tracy Jones said, I don't think that the terrible weather helped. It was a beautiful day. I think a lot of people made up their minds yesterday. The existing world record of 1,923 bikini-clad women set in Russia last year still stands.
And they have such nice
Set in Russia?
That must
Some
have
of
been
those might have been men.
bikinis and little fur booties.
No, that's how they got it, because nobody could tell the difference.
Well, Debbie Reynolds could, I bet.
I'm sure she could. Hey, people with bad breath, body odor, and runny noses, this leaves you out, Gunnar. They have been banned from becoming astronauts in China.
That hurts for Gunnar, because he was really looking forward to being a Chinese astronaut.
I was looking forward to my first moonshot.
Is that why Frank left? He wanted to be a Chinese astronaut?
He was looking forward to some moon guy pan. That was a table slapper, wasn't it? That was pretty good.
I should have had the rim shot on that one.
Stupid. Would-be astronauts competing for China's next space program must comply with a list of 100 rules, reports the BBC. Hello. The list included to recruit superhuman beings, also prohibits those with tooth cavities or scars which may burst in open space.
Or bad breath.
I have tooth cavities and I have scars.
Are there any possibilities that any of them would be willing to appear in a bikini Guinness Book World of Records? It's with Debbie Reynolds.
I don't think you can fit.
I love Debbie Reynolds.
I don't think you could fit in the Chinese astronaut suit. I think they're a little tiny. Mainly because when they sent the monkey into space, they said, hey, that's a good fitting suit. Any candidate with a history of serious illness in the last 3 generations of their family is also banned. And those with drug allergies,
if your great-great-grandfather
heart attack, done.
Done.
No, they all have to live to like 100, which probably in China is not going to be that hard to find. Successful candidates must possess a pleasant and adaptable disposition, so they have to have a good attitude. Aspiring astronauts will get nowhere without marital approval. If the astronaut's spouse does not like the idea of them going into space, they must remain on Earth. Shi Bingbing, a doctor at the 454th Air Force Hospital in Nanjing. Bingbing. Shi Bingbing.
Dr. Bingbing.
Dr. Bingbing, paging Dr. Bingbing. Bad
Bing,
body
bing,
odor.
radiology.
Dr. Bada Bing Boom, please come to reception.
Bing bada boom. Bad body odor will also affect fellow colleagues in the narrow confines of the space shuttle. So there is a sniff test if you're wanting to get. I wonder if you have to run a mile and then
you have to get in an enclosed capsule with somebody to see if their body odor is offensive.
These astronauts.
I tell you, I love Debbie Reynolds. She was in the Unshakable Maury Brown.
They should be regarded to as superhuman beings. The hospital has now carried out the first screening of candidates to weed out those who fell foul of the 100 rules, and 2 screenings will whittle hopefuls down. So 2 more screenings, they're going to whittle those down into more and more and more to finally get the... It's basically your Japanese game show.
Yeah,
almost.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, they're nitpicking.
Exactly. You have 100 people try out, see if they can jump over the
wall.
The pile of... Exactly.
The
little tub of slop. But can they defeat the big balls? A decapitated boy is now back on track. A teenager who was decapitated in a junior car race has amazed doctors by returning to the track.
What?
Exactly.
But because the car he was in came back around the loops?
There he goes. And then his head shortly followed.
Is this like the Futurama where they put the head in the jar?
Exactly. That's what I thought. The headline grabbed my attention and my nuts.
Hello.
Chris Stewart, age 14, looked odds-on to die after his skull and neck were separated. Only 6 people in the world are known to have survived the injury, and he's the first to make a completely full recovery. He underwent 7-hour operation to reattach his skull to his spine using titanium plates and screws.
But was he fully decapitated? That's kind of
Apparently,
weird.
if your head is separated from your body, that is technically called a decapitation.
Yeah, I think that would be. But
how do you survive your head being chopped off?
Ask Chris Stewart, age 14.
That's a story
his
for the
mom,
kids.
Debbie Reynolds, said, "We didn't know if he'd even survive, walk, or talk, so it's unbelievable. He's back and driving again." I'd be no thanks.
Put that kid back out on the track.
I'll watch from the stands. Where's my popcorn? He was 12 when his car hit a barrier, trapping him as he led the race in September of 2006, and now he's made a speedy recovery. A 50-year-old Michigan man faces jail after assault and battery after a game of Monopoly turned violent. Which is really any game of Monopoly. They don't end well.
Yeah.
You never say, "Oh, we had a pleasant game of Monopoly out back." It's also hours long. He was charged with allegedly...
No, you can't quit yet. No, I haven't taken every single thing that you own.
Grandma, where'd those pink 50s come from?
I have to own all the railroads.
Damaging, he hit a woman, damaged her glasses when she refused to sell him Park Place and Boardwalk.
Why would you give up Park Place and Boardwalk?
She called the police and told the operator, "I was at my neighbor's house, we were playing Monopoly, and he hit me. He slapped me and knocked my glasses off. We've got to get the 911 tape. We've got to." Neighbors have expressed surprise at the incident, saying that the woman often would get together for board games. My name is Venkman. That's the Useless News on the Big Dumb Fun Show.